month of October has been named Principals Month, and we've been encouraged by our governor to have recognition of our principals. So we've organized something simple for them today, and if you'll allow me, I'll read the proclamation, then I'll ask Dr. Garza and Ms. Garcia to come forward and continue with the recognition. From the state of Texas, Office of the Governor. As school leaders, principals are entrusted with our most valuable resource, our next generation of leaders. These students are a promise for the future, and it is critical that they receive a rigorous and well-rounded education. Principals are more than just caretakers of their schools. Principals are expected to be educational leaders, disciplinarians, community builders, spokesmen, budget analysts, and guardians of policy mandates and initiatives. Principals set the academic tone for their schools and work collaboratively with teachers to maintain high curriculum standards, develop mission statements, and set performance objectives. The National Association of Elementary School Principals and the National Association of Secondary School Principals, joined by their state affiliates, have designated the month of October as a time to recognize the contributions of elementary, middle, and high school principals. At this time, I encourage all Texans to recognize the important role principals play in ensuring that every child has access to a high-quality education. Therefore, I, Rick Perry, Governor of Texas, do hereby proclaim October 2013 to be Principals Month in Texas and urge the appropriate recognition whereof. Mr. Garza, Dr. Garza and Garcia, proceed.
Thank you, Dr. Rios. Mr. Garbedian, members of the board, it is a great honor to introduce our principals for the district. So what we're going to do is we're going to call out the first principal, which is going to be Mrs. Diaz. Mrs. Diaz, would you please join us up here? And presenting something for Mrs. Diaz is Mrs. Polanco.
Members. Leaders instill in their people a hope for success and a belief in themselves. Positive leaders empower people to accomplish their goals. Mrs. Eliza Diaz, our principal, is not only a dedicated leader of our Garfield community, but she exemplifies the true meaning of positive teamwork and collaboration. At our school, we are a true family. We give to one another and we never stop. Mrs. Diaz believes in each and every one of us. Her vision since she became principal was to establish a nurturing environment that would empower teachers, students, and families with the highest expectations. With this awesome inner vision, we are accomplishing these goals step by step through whatever obstacles arise. Her open door policy makes it very easy to communicate when we have those days that seem overwhelming. She is one that we can go to when we need to talk, cry, or laugh, or just sit for a minute or two. We are so very, very lucky to have Mrs. Diaz as our principal, as our friend, and as our leader. With Mrs. Diaz leading the way, we look forward to reaching to the stars to accomplish and achieve the best we possibly can. We thank her for her commitment to the teachers, our students, and all of our families at Garfield Elementary. Happy Principals Appreciation Month, Mrs. Diaz. We love you. You are the best.
We've been practicing acrostic poems and all different types of poetry, so now we're go ahead, Mallory, read it. Okay, you want me to hold it for you? Okay, go ahead.
Miss Diaz. E. Encouraging. L. Loving. I. Important to us all. Z. Zany at times. A. Adventurous. D. Dynamic. interested in all we do. A, always available. Z, zealous, active, and enthusiastic.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
At this time, we would like to call up Mrs. Sallis from Buena Vista. And we would also like to recognize Mrs. Calderon.
Mrs. Sallis, thank you for being approachable and welcoming. Your open door policy makes us feel confident that you will listen to our needs. Thank you for being a confidence booster. You notice when we get something right and you celebrate it with other teachers. Thank you for being supportive. When something is important to us, it becomes important to you. Thank you for being goal-oriented with high expectations. You set high standards for Buena Vista Elementary in attendance, scores, and UIL activities. Thank you for being our discipline facilitator. You take the role of sheriff and you stick to your guns when the going gets tough. Thank you for being consistent and following through with decisions made. At times, it's not the easiest road to take, but it's the road that will lead us to success. Thank you for showing fairness. You hear both sides of the story before making a final decision. Thank you for being positive. You encourage your staff and students to always bring their best. Thank you for instilling pride at Buena Vista, from the foyer to the hallways to the t-shirts we all wear. Our Buena Vista spirit is loud and proud. Sincerely, the Buena Vista staff.
At this time, we would like to recognize Mrs. Villarreal from Lonnie Green. And we would like to bring up Mrs. Casillas.
I would like to start with a quote. The only way to do great things, or the only way to do great work, is to love what you do. This quote embodies everything that Mrs. Jane Verrial, our principal at Dr. Lonnie Green, is. We would like to express our gratitude to our distinguished board members and superintendent for allowing us this opportunity to recognize our great principal. Jane Verrial is truly an exceptional human being. She demonstrates her humanity and caring for each and everyone daily, regardless of her hectic duties. A pat on the back, friendly hug, words of encouragement are all in a day's work for her. Masterful at multitasking, and dare we say, making it look so easy, is something she skillfully accomplishes every day. We admire and respect our leader. She demonstrates her unconditional support for our ideas and concerns, and is always willing to go out of her way in an encouraging manner to help us grow professionally. She motivates staff and students to achieve our best, and we can count on her for guidance and inspiration. In addition to being an administrator, she is in the trenches with each and every one of us daily. She seems to have ESP powers, for she knows exactly where she needs to be. She is the glue that unites the campus in a productive, caring manner. Her friendly smile is always welcoming. We sincerely admire, respect, and appreciate everything she does and is. Jane Verrial, hats off to you. You're the best. Love, your Dr. Lonnie Green staff.
Keep up the good work. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Jane. And now we would like to recognize Mrs. Adams, principal of North Heights Elementary. We would like to call Mrs. Ortiz.
Good evening. Before you stands a very proud teacher of North Heights Elementary. On August 2013, North Heights Elementary began with a fresh new start. Ms. Ruby Adams came to our school as a new principal. She came with a lot of determination and a huge smile. She is a leader that recognizes her teachers as professionals and never lets us forget how wonderful her staff is. She is always visible to us. As busy as she is, she takes a few minutes to listen to our concerns. She has great ideas to improve our teaming and planning protocol and is bringing many exciting things to our campus, such as championships as Andale del Rio, and she also earned our campus a grant to encourage our students to walk and bike to school. She has also began Coffee and Donut with the principal, where she meets with parents and answers questions, which encourages great rapport with our community. She backs our school's activities, such as skate night, where both she and Mr. Mendez skated and fell down. And we have pictures with them on their bottoms to prove it. We also now have a beautiful Chief's Cafe to enjoy our lunches and staff meetings. Because of her example of team effort, we are determined to bring North Heights Elementary back to the top of our game. Miss Adams, thank you for your pats on the back, your positive attitude, and believing in us. We appreciate you with all our hearts. Thank you, your North Heights staff, where we dream, we believe, and we achieve.
And now we would like to recognize Mrs. Muraira, principal of Dr. Fermin Calderon. We would like to call up Mrs. Parsons.
I recently read somewhere that schools need principals because they help build the school community and take on issues that many others may not, and that school communities need a leader who can build a guiding team and vision and help move a school forward. It also said that that team needs someone at the front as well as quality teachers who can share in what the vision should be. I feel that Brianna Moraida is a true educational leader who accomplishes all of these goals and many more. She doesn't just handle discipline, go to meetings, and conduct observations. She demonstrates a love of learning and support that I feel can only come from within. She supports the teachers she works with, at the same time advocating for students who may sometimes lack the voice to advocate for themselves. She tries to find a balance between keeping students safe, listening to parent concerns, and supporting her teachers. Ms. Moraida is a very optimistic, positive, caring, creative, and fun-loving person who probably doesn't realize how important she is to those around her. Our staff feel truly honored and blessed to work for such a great person and administrator.
And now we would like to recognize Ms. Flores, principal of Lamar Elementary. And we would like to call Ms. Bringham.
I've known Ms. Mariva Flores for a month now, since she took the helm of Lamar Elementary. Some might wonder why I'd come to speak today after knowing her for such a short time. That's the thing about Miss Flores, though. She made a very quick, positive impression on me and our entire school. It's no secret that Miss Flores came to Lamar at a time of great change. The school year had already started, we had an interim principal, and the entire district was adapting to the new initiative. Despite having big shoes to fill, I personally think she accepted the position with bravery and poise. Ms. Flores got to work right away, making improvements, introducing campus-wide procedures, and truly listening to teachers about what we felt was needed. She can be found on campus long outside duty hours and has worked tirelessly to make certain we are organized and running smoothly. It is evident in her words and deeds that Ms. Flores believes in and is excited for Dr. Rios' vision for the district. That, coupled with her high expectations for student achievement, is very contagious. Knowing that she cares about our future success makes her an inspiration to work with and the perfect fit and blessing for Lamar.
And now we would like to recognize Mr. Perez, principal of Chavira Elementary. And we have Mrs. Galindo.
To the best principal in the universe. Our campus is our universe, and you indeed, sir, have demonstrated a huge sense of caring for the teachers, which is your backbone, for the students, which is your heart. We continue to come to you with our needs and demands, and you truly try to meet them. The main thing is you listen to all of us, and during protocol, you allow us to discuss our learning targets and let us teach a scope and sequence according to the development needs of our students, especially in the lower grades. Yes, we are a team at Ruben Chavira Elementary, and not just any team. We are a strong team, and with principals like you, we build more on this rock. You always have a smile on your face, and you always go to check on us before school starts and after school ends. And I don't mean the time, sir. You check on us because we need your smile. You indeed have built a positive morale within the school, regardless of the many changes the teachers are going through. As for your walkthroughs, we welcome them, for you know that your teachers are always on task. You surprise us with how knowledgeable you are with everyone's curriculum. From the bottom of our hearts at Ruben Chavira, we thank you for a job well done. Continue to support us, and you indeed will have successful learners because we are a team. Thank you, sir.
And now we would like to recognize principal of Cartwell Elementary, Mrs. Guanajuato Webb. We would like to call up Ms. Brijalva.
Superintendent Dr. Rios, Board President Mr. Garabedian, Board members, I, Melinda Brijalva, approach you with great pride. I stand before you to say but a few words on behalf of our director, Mrs. Linda Webb. Mrs. Webb, under your directorship and your leadership, our Head Start program has surpassed the norm of any Head Start program. Our program has been a recognized campus through the kinder readiness system, has surpassed the average scores in our federal reviews, and we have also received a $10,000 HEB Fitness Award through TEA in Active Life. In pursuit of not only school readiness, but in striving for college preparedness, our students not only receive classroom curriculum instruction, but enrichment and enhancement by means of our music lab, our science lab, and our technology lab. It is through these extended learning opportunities that our students are not only able to, but they're very eager and excited about participating in our annual science fair and our music fest that we have had about 2 years, in which they perform individually, independently, musically. Your superior leadership and advocacy have launched our program into the forefront in this region, making it a model program for other Head Start programs to follow. It is also through your highest expectations of your staff as professionals that many of us have pursued furthering our education and have received our master's degrees or in the works of doing so. We are extremely proud to serve our students, our families, and our community under your directorship. Mrs. Webb, on behalf of your staff at Cardwell Head Start, we thank you with the utmost of appreciation for your leadership of our Head Start program.
Good work.
Okay, and now we'll continue recognizing our secondary principals, and we'll start with our Student and Guidance Learning Center, our principal, Mr. Cabello. And Ms. Lynn Dutton will come and say some few words.
Immediately upon his arrival this year to SGLC, Mr. Cavale set a positive tone for our campus by giving importance, a sense of belonging, and recognizing the value of his staff to the school district. I believe his common sense approach on how a school should operate and his keen eye in making effective improvements on what is already working is just one of his many keys to being successful as our principal. Mr. Cavale's true strength is making time for you, no matter if you're a student or a staff member. The students appreciate and value his wanting to know them personally. They see him as being a real person and believe that he deals with them fairly and justly. I even heard one of them comment that he didn't want to disappoint Mr. Cavale, so he had to be careful in the choices he made when he returned to his home campus so that he wouldn't be sent back and let Mr. Cavale down. Wow, that's a major statement from some of our students. As our kids would say, Mr. Cavale rocks.
And now we'd like to recognize from San Felipe Middle School, Mr. Ramos. And Mrs. Leal will come and read some words.
Good evening, Mr. Garavidian and Dr. Rios and school board members. My name is Marianela Leal. I'm a proud educator at San Felipe Memorial Middle School. I'm here today on behalf of my colleagues to acknowledge and praise our campus administrator, Mr. Pablo Ramos. His hard work and dedication to ensure that our students receive the quality education to prepare them and make them successful in whatever they pursue is recognizable. His approachable personality and willingness to embark on any adventure that will contribute to the success and well-being of our staff, students, and campus makes him a remarkable leader. Today, we would like to express our gratitude for all that he does and brings to San Felipe Memorial Middle School. Mr. Ramos, thank you for all your hard work, dedication, and leadership. Thank you.
Okay, and now we have from Del Rio Middle School, Mrs. Gomez. And we'll welcome Mrs. Hasu, who will come up and read some words.
Good evening. I once heard from a wise person that God has a special place in heaven for middle school teachers. If this is true, then he surely must have a gold seat waiting for our boss, Principal Mrs. Gomez. Too often we do not realize the challenges and roadblocks a principal is faced with, but Ms. Gomez picks up the torch willingly every day, keeping the destination for our students and staff in mind. She shows the love for her job in her dedication to making our school a place not only for our students to feel at home, but the staff as well. Tonight, on behalf of Del Rio Middle School students and staff, I would like to recognize our principal, Ida Gomez, for her hard work and dedication to our campus, where we develop a foundation for future goals, we remain true to ourselves, our beliefs and dreams, we maintain a positive attitude and mind, and we always strive for success. Thank you.
At this moment, we would like to recognize Del Rio Freshman School Principal, Mr. Limon. And Mrs. Salinas will come and read a few words about Mr. Limon.
Good evening, Board President, Dr. Rios, and board members. Mr. Jorge Limon. Mr. Limon has made the transition from elementary to secondary principal with a tremendous amount of positive energy. I must say, on his first day, he was quite apprehensive, to the point of a breakdown, when our student body didn't have to line up to be released. The elementary control was gone, just like that. He is visible in the hallways, classrooms, courtyard, and cafeteria. He greets students and makes contacts as needed. He even attempts to eat with teachers during lunch, when and if his schedule allows. He has an open door policy, which is inviting to the entire staff. We consider our campus a family, and we are encouraged by his positive energy that our campus will be even better. We are looking forward to a great year, and remember, it starts here, and it starts now.
And now we have Del Rio High School Principal, Dr. Sallis Zuniga Barrera. And Coach McCray will share a few words.
Sorry, I was like,
what have they done to you?
Good evening to President Garabedian, Dr. Rios, and to the school board trustees. I thank you for this opportunity to address you this evening. It is with great honor that I stand before you today to express my words of appreciation towards my principal, Dr. Sallis Zuniga Barrera. When she first arrived to the campus, I had the privilege of being one of the first to meet her in the office, and I told her that I would do anything I can to make her stay pleasant and to support her. She said the same thing to me, and with that, she has done so. She has supported us 100% in school and outside of school. She has been there for us during victory and defeat. She encouraged our students every day, and she takes the time to listen to their stories and even give aid when necessary. She cares for each and every student equally and does all she can to lend them a hand. She is a motivator, an educator, and a leader. She is always willing to talk to me when I'm down or frustrated. She always has words of wisdom to motivate me to keep striving to be excellent. She also is has one of the most positive outlooks in life, which makes her a wonderful person to be around. I always know that in the fourth quarter of every football game, I can look to see her coming to the sideline to be with me and my team, and it brings joy and satisfaction to know that win or lose, everything will be all right. I am very proud to have her as my principal and to call her my friend. Thank you for all that you do, Dr. Sally Zuniga Barrera. I call her Dr. B.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thanks. Thank you. This is nice, so we can be motivated to come back for the second semester. Thank you so much, Ms. Flores. I appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Congratulations. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
In closing, I would also like to say to all these wonderful principals, from Head Start to high school, you have inspired our kids to be the best that they can be. Your work might seem to go unnoticed, but it's never in vain. A wise author once wrote, "Be not weary in well-doing, for in due season you shall reap." It is you and the work that you do that shall see our kids succeed, not just in school, but in life. Thank you for all that you do. I would like to thank Dr. Garza for allowing me this opportunity to speak towards my principal. And again, I say thank you, President, Dr. Rios, and School Board, for allowing us to honor our leaders. Thank you.